From the lanes in downtown Amesbury, this is Classic Candlepins. Hi again, everybody. Welcome back. The Classic Candlepins is the fifth ladder of Season 2. I'm Mark Ritchie, flying solo today. Nick Zuffalato made the ladder here, along with one of our other crew members, John Steiner, today. So we have some familiar faces, along with another new face. Last ladder, we had two new faces, Tim Jalbert and Nate Lees, making their TV debuts. Today we have a bowler, our fifth seed, Mike McGinty, not exactly making his TV debut. He's a veteran of the Candlepin New Generation show and some of the other ones, so he's familiar with being under the lights. But he's bowling up against another bowler today that's very familiar with being under the lights, our number 4 seed, Jon Winchell. But first we'll start with Mike McGinty. Mike is 18 years old, lives in Portsmouth, high average of 118, high single impressive 206, high series of 449. And again, he bowls out of the lanes up in Portsmouth, had a 610 in qualifying as the 5th seed in his roll-off. Got it done in the last roll-off that we had in the series, which as we tape this today is June 12th. We got it done in the 11th and had an impressive series and got himself into the ladder. And Mike is also going up against another TV veteran in his own right. Jon Winchell comes to us from Brentwood, New Hampshire today. His high average of 124, high single 190, high series of 467. And like I said, he comes to us from Brentwood, bowls up at the lanes in Exeter. No stranger to the TV lights. Neither one of these fellas are. It's going to be a heck of a match. Scoring should be good. And we'll see you for the beginning of that match where Mike McGinty will throw the first ball after we come back. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Classic Candlepins. This is the first match of the last ladder series of the season. We have newcomer Mike McGinty against seasoned veteran Jon Winchell. A little handshake from the boys, and Mike's going to get us started right now. Mike's a relative newcomer to the adult scene. Coming out of the gate, making some noise. Starts with a really good ball, drops 8. He's left with the inverted half Worcester on the right side, the 3 and the 9. It's so hard to do that. We said it in the last ladder, that shot only goes on the first ball. Try to pin one of these out, get a good 9 to get going. And that's exactly what he does. So 9 to start, but that's a good start. You know, young man making his first adult TV appearance, hit the head pin on his first ball. And a lot of poise in this one. The force is strong with him, as we like to say. Crushes the head pin again. Leaves 8, little 2-pinner in the corner, 6-10. Piece of wood rolling. Oh, it's stuck to the front. Might be a helper. And plays it beautifully, sweeps it right home. Get that first smudge on the board. And Jon Winchell steps up. Very comfortable under the lights. Been on the TV show many times before. John's solid ball right on the head pin. Leaves a 3 and 1, but it's makeable with his reverse spin. He'll play the 3 on the right. John has a league average of 124, which is absolutely no joke. Oh, he just scooted by that 3-pin. And takes the 3-pin for a 9. Matches Mike's 9 to start. John recently was on the professional team out of one of the lanes down in that recently made the final match of the pro league that a lot of us bowl in. They made the final match of the whole season. It was a knockout tournament at the end. His team did very, very well. They actually knocked out my team out of the playoffs. They did well. They ended up losing to the team from Lynn. Ended up winning the whole tournament. Jon with a nice little conversion there. Had a 2-1 and kind of kicked it over. So through 2 boxes, we've decided absolutely nothing. Boys have matched everything. Now Mike's going to go up and try to break this tie. Just missed to the right a little bit, but put 6 on the mark. 4 horsemen on the left side. Splits it beautifully and leaves that corner pin. Happens quite often, unfortunately. You hit it good and that last pin never carries, but when you hit it in the face for a 10 box, you can't take it away from you there. Now Mike's off to a very good start. Absolutely hits the head pin as hard as possible. Some great late action to take out the back 2. Gets himself a big old strike to get going. Now Jon will be filling his mark. He hits the head pin and he puts the strike up there too. His was worth 20. It was a fill. Skipped it on the line a little bit. 4 on the first ball, but it's a makeable cluster. 4 in the middle and 2 pins sitting around on the left side. It splits the head pin, takes out the 4 for a nice 8 fill. Clean these up for a 9 or a 10. Jon very deliberate in his approach and his delivery. Beautiful 10. So after 4, Jon has a 12-pin lead, but Mike is on a strike. He'll chew off a lot of that right here. Great ball. Takes out 6, and one of the pins slid in the back a little bit, kind of opened it up. But let's see, nope. Just took out that front one. But it's good 7 fill. Chews the lead down to 5. And plucks one more for an 8. So a good 60 half. Mike's much more fast pace. Of a ball that hits the pocket nicely, gets pins to slide everywhere, just him and the kingpin. And that is in the face, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't get much more than that. Great spare for the young man, having himself a great TV debut right now. But here's Jon Winchell. Skipped it on the line a bit. Still got the head pin. Leaves a little triangle on the right side. Jon is married to Sally. How you doing, Sally, if you're watching the show? And just too heavy on the object pin. Jon has 2 boys, Cody and Lucas. A couple good kids, seen him around at all the tournaments and stuff. Jon's family follows him around. Kids are always cheering for Daddy. There's a 9. He's a laborer for Walmart, works at one of the distribution centers. Been bowling a long time. Right there on the pocket. 9 instantly, just like Mike did before. Same kingpin, just like before. Jon has a little piece of wood on the left, but I don't think that'll factor in. And he used it beautifully. We call that a veteran read, folks. So matching marks in the 6th. Jon has a 6-pin lead. Mike hits the head pin on his field, gets 7. It was a little light, but he's looking at 3 pins. 2, 5, and the 7. Splits them beautifully, and it just wrapped the 7-pin. Even Jon was amazed that he missed that. I think we all were. He hit that really well. And then he pins it out nicely for a great 10. A lot of poise being shown by this young man in his first time on TV. Like you said before, he has been on the kids show that was on Candlepin New Generation several times. He is only 18 years old. He made the championship show at the Pro Kid event. There was a Pro-Am event where the Pro Bowlers would bowl with some of the youth bowlers. And he won that tournament in 2014. And he also, on the same show, tied the high single the show had ever seen. The 167. At 16 years old. These guys can bowl. These guys can definitely bowl. Jon takes out 5, missed the head pin. Looking at the 4 horseman, the sleeper in the back over there. Jon just scooted by the head pin. And a nice 10. Jon moves over to lane 6 and puts it just off the head pin to the right. 4 horsemen on the left side. Jon has the perfect ball for this shot on the left. He throws a big backspin. It can drive right through the pins. Oh, man. And he gets the same bad break Mike got earlier. Ran the 4 horsemen, just left that stupid corner. And it's still there, just scooted by. So after 8, Jon's maintaining a 6-pin lead. However, Mike still has 2 frames here. Put up a mark or 2, and everything's different. Mike hits the head pin a little light, but got some mixing. Corners stayed up along with the 3-pin in the front. Couple pieces of wood around it just to make it interesting. And no luck, just took out the 3, but it's set up pretty good for a 9 or a 10 here. Pinning is so very important. And I'm amazed he only got 1 out of that, but it's an 8. .102 after. Coming into the 10th box. Mike hits the head pin again. That same little light hit. It's the 8 and the 10. A couple pieces of wood up in the front. One in front of the 8, one in front of the 10. See how he plays it. Oh, I think he was aiming for that cap, try to bang it around. Smart play, but just scooted. I played it again. Played it again for a 9. And a 111. So good debut string. Get himself rolling. Jon has 2 boxes to try to up his lead here. Skipped it just a little bit, but got some of that late action. Head pin and the 2-pin kicked out. He's looking at the 4 and the 7 in the back left. Just 4 pieces of wood, 3 of which I think are helpful. 1 is going to be the pane out in the front. Sure, Jon's seen shot like this many, many times. It gets to a point where you see certain setups, and most of it's just from memory how you play it. Jon got by that front cap that wasn't too friendly looking. Put the shot away. Nice spare in the 9th box. Yeah, it gets to a point when you've bowled for so long, you just see these shots, and the less you overanalyze them, the better. The better off to just see what you know and throw at it. Jon missed right a little bit again, but he's getting some action these last 2 boxes. Pins are moving a little better. 2 in the front, 1, 2, and then the 8, 10, 9, 10 in the back with some wood covering it. And just be on the head pin and take your chance. And he just scooted off to the side. He's missing a right a bit, but he will take a lead into the 2nd game. Try to add a couple pins here to it. And he does just that, takes 9. Jon said that would have done it. For a 125. So Jon will take a 14-pin lead into game 2. Mike McGinty's not going anywhere, though. Showed a lot of poise for his first game. And we're going to bring that 2nd game to you right away, right after this. Jon will throw the first ball next string. After we come back, we'll see you on the other side.
I'm Mike McGinty, and you're watching Classic Candlepins.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming back. String number 2. Jon Winchell versus Mike McGinty is the first match of the last qualifying ladder of the season. By the end of this ladder series, we will have our 5th entry into the Tournament of Champions. But that's in a few weeks. Today and right now, Jon Winchell. Jon, it's head pin a little light. Comes with an 8 fill, not an 8 fill, 8 ball. Jon had a nice 125, nice and consistent, straight down the line. They say pinning is clutch. He only left 3 pins standing that whole game. Jon plays the left side over by the 7-pin, couldn't get anything to bounce back. And that'll be a nice 10 box to get himself going. As per usual, we ask the bowlers to fill out an information sheet so that we have some stuff to talk about. And since the last time Jon was here, he's added quite a bit to his repertoire of what he's done, to his resume. While I was talking, he just dropped 9, leaves a 6-pin. Recently in the New Hampshire State tournaments, in the singles event, he won the scratch and the handicap event. And there it is, nice spare. John will agree, and all the bowlers will agree. Pinning is everything. We'll get to a little bit more about John in a few minutes. Mike had left the 1 and the 7. Took out the 1. And then just scoots by the 7, 9. Mike is fairly new to the adult scene. Like I said, this is his first season out of the juniors. And my goodness. Oh, that was an explosion. Let's see that again. That was 9 pins instantly, and then eventually that 4-pin just decided to fall. I don't blame it. Here's John up, filling his mark from the second box. Beautifully smooth. Huge 9-ball. Staring down the 8-pin right in the face. No wood to speak of. And he just scooted by. I don't know if you could have put a piece of paper in there. He put it on the curtain there for the 10 box. Yeah, as I noted before, flying solo back here today on the commentator's desk. My partner in crime, Nicky Zuffalato, or Freshie as everybody knows him, came out and ripped it up in the roll-off. Was the number 1 seed for a little while. So we'll be seeing him in a couple weeks. Brian Fuller Jr., who we'll see a week after that, came in and beat Nick by a few pins. I think it was 7 pins total. Oh. John took out the triangle, left 1 in the corner. There's a nice 10. So Mike comes up now, filling the strike. I was very happy to see Mike finally make the show. He had been here for several roll-offs before. Had come close, had come close. Mike hit the head pin, dropped 7. Leaves the little side saddle triangle, the 3, 5, and the 8. But there's a wood that came out, and we're going to have our buddy Dave Dorman run down and get it out of there. Apparently it was over the line. Little golf clap. Mike played it beautifully. Hit it on the outside. That was a heck of a 9, Phil. Those side saddles, they look easy. They are not. And then a beautiful 10 right afterwards. Excuse me. Mike just misses the head pin. He's been on it a lot today so far. He leaves that 4 horseman on the left, plus that sleeper pin. Splits the head pin a little tight, but still got 3. Little skipper right there for 8. So as we look at the graphic right now for the ladder series that we have going on, as you can see right now, Mike McGinty's bowling against Jon Winchell. The winner of this match next week will face show veteran and good buddy of mine, John Starner. We'll come back to this in a minute. Here's John. John, nice head pin hit. Leaves a triangle on the right side, 3, 5, and 6. And blows it out of there beautifully for the spare. The winner of John Starner's match will face the aforementioned Nick Zeffalato. And then for the right to go to the TOC, it'll be Brian Fuller Jr. So we have an action-packed ladder, a lot of talent in the room, a lot of names you're familiar with. And then there's things like that. That was a very quick 10. Huge strike fill. And here we go. John starts putting the wood down. Mike on the head pin again. Gets the good carry on the 10 pin. Just him and a 7 pin. A little piece of wood tucked in nice. And goodbye. Directly in the face. That was directly in the face. That was do not pass go, do not collect $200 to the face. Here he is filling on the head pin, and he says, I don't care about your strike, I'll throw my own. Some great bowling so far from the fellas. So after all these fireworks and everything else, it's a 3-pin lead in the string. John, a little skippy, but blows it straight through. 6 on the first ball. Try to take a few of these. Splits the corner on the right side. Grade 8 fill. $87 for 6. You're doing something right. Big time. A little skippy again, but another 10 box. 97, and he's still perfect. Has not left a pin up. There's a difference in candlepin perfect game, 10-pin perfect game. We all know in 10-pin it's 12 strikes in a row. They call it perfect game. That's never been done in candlepin and probably never will. So, Mike just looked at me and said he's going to do it. I hope you do it next string. I want to see it. Oh, that's just unlucky. But yeah, in candlepin we call it perfect game when you knock down every pin. No 9 box, no an 8, but everything's 10 or better. John's on his way, but he hit the head pin again and left the same big 4 leave again. Had some wood this time and didn't really do much. The perfect streak might end in this box. The smart thing to do would take the 2 on the right. He's been bowling long enough, he knows. Beautiful, nice 9. Here's Mike loading up his strike. Rare occasion missed the head pin. Takes out 5. He's got that center cluster. The head pin in 4 or 5. And then the 10 pin sitting over in the corner. Big piece of wood in front of it. And he just scoots by. Just missed the head pin. 82 for 6. Still nothing wrong with that. But John's going to add a few here in his count. In the lead. He's up by 8 pins in the game, 22 pins overall. Still not very much here. Oh my goodness. Mike has the strike machine working. Gorgeous strikes. These are no doubters either. Absolute no doubters. Young man's keeping the pressure on him. Here's Jon right on the head pin. Oh, and that's just an awful break. It was a 6-pin, got slid over a couple inches. He'll put it away, though. He put it away. Another great string working here for Jon Winchell. Man knows how to bowl. Very well. Very, very well. Bonus ball on the head pin. Good news, bad news. It's an 8 fill. Nothing wrong with an 8. Unfortunately, though, those 2 pins that are left are the 5 and the 10. It is makeable. It's a tough cut. But he blows it over. Wow, we're going to take a look at that again. Just gorgeously cut that 5 right on the left side, kick it right into the 10-pin. That's textbook right there, folks. Now the bonus ball here in the 10th. Nice ball right on the head pin. Takes 8 more for a 142. Great game. Jon come out of the gate bowling very, very well. Mike's bowling well in his own right here, too. He's got himself a strike up. He's getting some action down there. The dust settles. There's 6. Just scooted by that head pin. Still 7. High-low jack, and he missed it all. Some great sportsmanship being displayed by the fellows here. They're both making some noise for each other. Love to see that. Mike coming back on the head pin here. A little bit light, but he got some action. However, there's still 4 pins. Spaced apart. Gets himself a good piece of the 3-pin. Couldn't carry it down, but he'll be in the 20s here. And that'll be a nice 10 box for 123. So after 2, Mike's doing very well for himself. He's 234. But Jon Winchell has 25 and 142 here, so he's at 267. It's 33-pin lead going into the last game. You got a funny feeling there'll be some more fireworks coming back in the 3rd game. These fellas have been putting on a good display. So sit tight. We'll have that 3rd game coming right at you, right on the other side.
Hi, I'm Jon Winchell, and you're watching Classic Candlepins.
All right, everybody, here we go. 3rd deciding string. Mike McGinty comes to the line right here, trailing by 33 pins going into the last game. Mike steps up and fires. Crushes the head pin, leaves just a 6. Mike is only 18 years old, like we've said. And we asked the bowlers, oh, just scooted by. we asked the bowlers for a couple little odd facts and little personal things and stuff, and Mike writes on here. Actually, Mike's very similar to me. He picked up his first bowling ball and started bowling when he was 3, as did I. And he's also an avid gamer, as am I. I'm sure most people are. Nowadays, consoles are all the rage. Video games are better than they've ever been before. Oof. Mike dropped 9 again, had the 4-pin this time with a piece of wood in the front and just went 2 left of it. Puts it on the curtain for a 10. Yeah, he's not too happy with himself at the moment. Here's Jon Winchell. Threw 618 in his roll-off. Was good for the 4 seed. Jon buries the head pin nice and full. Gets a good splash, but left with the 710. Piece of wood in front of both pins. One's a little angled in front of the 7. Chooses to play the left side, nice and high, tried to get it to pop. However, nothing fell. Clean up one of these. And he does. Takes 7-pin for a 9. Mike takes a pin back and count. Jon will shake that off, moves over to lane 6. Again, very deliberate. Every ball with the same intent. Every pitch the same speed as the last, and it's that little bit of difference between a split and a strike. But any strike is a big strike. Now Mike comes back, responds, buries the head pin again. For a first adult TV appearance, he's not showing a lot of these nerves, you know. A few little things gone wrong here and there, but I would honestly say he's done more right than wrong. Gets himself a nice 9 there. Had a big split, a big 3-1. And spread eagle. Right through the guts. 2-4-7 on the left, 3-6-10 on the right. And takes 3 out. Not exactly the sure 3, but 3 nonetheless. And then does a good job of pinning it out, gets 9. Excuse me. Now here's Jon come back up to fill his strike. Jon did not put anything under the 2 things that we asked to label about something that we don't know about him. He told me to make stuff up. I told him that was dangerous. He then proceeded to tell me how he likes his coffee, and then that he's been bowling with a broken shoe for 6 months. So I guess we'll go with those 2 things. And he left himself a little spare leave in the right corner, blows it out. Nice little spare in the 3rd box. He'll add 10 to the lead. Misses the head pin, but he gets a little messenger. Comes back to take the head pin for a 7. And a 3 on the left side, some wood dressing it up. Plays the right side beautifully because of the backwood was in there. Had the sweep effect to it. So he's added 18 pins plus. Here's Mike coming up trying to do some damage. Drops 9. 5 pins staring right at him. And he just scooted by it. Just scooted by it. It's on the curtain now. Mike missed the head pin. Took out 1 on the second ball. Still staring at 2 pins. Still staring at 2 pins. $56 for 6. He's not happy. And here's Jon Winchell in the driver's seat. Bonus ball. Just missed the head pin in the side. Only got 3 out of the whole cluster. Better ball, just chunked out the guts out of it. Still staring at a big old cluster on the right side. Try to pin this out for 9 or 10 and push the button and run away as fast as possible. And he does it beautifully. Nice 10. 69 at the half. And have himself a great series here if he keeps this up. Great looking ball. Not too much result out of it. He stared at me on that one. I didn't throw it. Triangle on the left side, the 9 and the 10. Piece of wood flat against the 8 pin in the back there. Might help to get everything moving. I just scooted by. Gets 8. So after 6, Jon's at 77, Mike's at 56. Mike missed the head pin, took out 4 on the left. Got some late action, come back, take the 10 pin on that ball, still staring at the head pin. 4 is 10. Very good. Mike comes back. It's just that first show jinx sometimes. He's done well all day. The last game here, the pins aren't giving him the time of day. He's toughing through it though. He's got 5 10s through 8 boxes. Jon's still looking to put some marks up. and never let off the gas pedal. The 4 on the first ball. Missed the head pin to the left. Comes back a little too full on the head pin, takes 2. And takes 2 more for an 8. I want to thank you, everybody, for tuning in today and watching the whole show. If you're on YouTube, please make a point of hitting that little thumbs up button on the bottom. Really helps us out, shows that you're interested and that you like watching the show, and we appreciate it because we like making it. It's fun. We're all bowlers here. It's fun to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and try to see what you can do when they give you the cameras and they say, go ahead. You know, if you see something or you hear something, throw a comment down on the bottom. We reply to them all the time. We appreciate when people engage themselves in this show. Oh. But thank everybody. Thank you, everybody who subscribed. Thank everybody who's liked. We do appreciate it. John with the little kissy kissy 10 bucks. So John's added 19 to the lead. There's 33 coming in. Lead's at 52 at this point. Is Mike trying to finish out his day strong? Beautiful 10. Beautiful 10 bucks. He's just lost the head pin here in this string. But, ooh, that was close. Still 2 pins left. 94 in the last. .328 series. That's a 94 with no marks right there, folks. That's pretty good. I know you want to get marks and such, but that's some serious pinning in that string. 6 out of 10 boxes. So Jon Winchell has won. He will advance to face John Stana next week. Oh, John gave it a run on the outside. Had that 4 horseman and the sleeper in the back again. This time it was on the other side. The last 2 times have been on the left. And he leaves a 7 right there. Gives himself a little mock clap to his own face. But that's okay. John hits the head pin in the last box of the day. Triangle on the left, 2-4-5, no wood to speak of. Well, there's a piece over by the 10 pin, but completely inconsequential. And no. Tricky triangle. They look so easy. But they are not. And that's 10 for 112. In a 3-game series of 379. So Johnny Winchell's going to win this match by 51 pins, 379 to 328. Mike McGinty, his first TV appearance, did great. Nothing to hang his head about in the least bit. And we're going to take a short break. We're going to come right back, and we're going to talk to Mike McGinty right on the other side. Hey, everybody, welcome back. I'm Mark Ritchie here with Mike McGinty. 379 to 328, Jon Winchell moves on. But, Mike, nothing to hang your head about today, man. I thought you bowled really good. The third string just didn't treat you all that well. You had been on the Candlepin New Gen show back in the day when you were younger. What's it like now being in the adults, you know, as opposed to bowling against the kids your own age? Now you're like a little fish in a big pond instead of the big fish in a little pond. What's it like?
It's definitely a lot tougher. I know I bowled Jon Winchell. He's easily one of the best in New Hampshire right now. He just won the States singles. So I knew I was going to have to bring my A game in. Well, I came up a bit short. What are you going to do?
No, I mean, that's the right attitude to have. You know, you bowl well all day. The man's just, he just bowled better. You know, it's not a matter of who is better. It's just who bowls better during the day. But I'm proud of you. I thought you did really well. Hopefully one of these days we'll see you here in the winner's interview.
Absolutely.
But thanks for coming out today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome. So Jon Winchell will move on next week. He'll bowl John Stana, a number 3 seed. So for the entire crew, I'm Mark McGinty. Thanks for watching. See you next week.